It just tickled me something. I said, ooh, I'm going to start calling the act. I'm going to start making up a name out of this one. Amen. Acts chapter 20, verses 7 through 12. Acts chapter 20. Acts chapter 20, verses 7 through 12.
Amen.
Go ahead, sir.
We met on Sunday to worship and celebrate the Master's Supper. Paul addressed the congregation. Our plan was to leave first thing in the morning.
Yes.
But Paul talked on.
Paul kept talking.
Way past midnight.
Oh boy, he was talking.
We were meeting in a well-lighted upper room.
Come on here, sir.
A young man named...
Just whatever you want to make his name. Steve
was sitting in an open window. As Paul went on.
Paul kept, wait a minute, he keeps on talking. Come on.
And on Stephen fell sound asleep. And toppled out the third story window.
Now watch this right here. This is in your Bible now. This is in your Bible. Watch this right here. Paul was up ministering. And he talked so long, prophetess, that the man fell asleep and fell out the window.
Wow.
It's in your word.
Yeah.
I didn't put this in here.
I gotta read that.
I
gotta see that.
That'll be Paul born.
Hey, listen, it wasn't really he was born. He got to go back. He just kept talking. Listen, he said we about to leave in the morning and we already at midnight and you still talking. So I'm trying to pay attention, but listen.
Yeah, 3 stories.
I just gonna fell out. Okay, go ahead.
Oh God. Okay. As Paul went on, when they picked him up, he was dead. Paul went down, stretched himself on him, and hugged him hard. No more crying, he said. There's life in him yet. Then Paul got up and served the Master's Supper and went on telling stories of the faith until dawn. On that note, they left. Paul going one way, the congregation another, leading the boy off alive and full of life themselves.
Full of life themselves. And then what I like to go back to that one part. It says, go to that part where he picked the boy up,
stretched himself on him.
And then what else say?
And hugged him hard.
What else say?
No more crying.
No more crying.
There's life in him yet.
There's life in him yet.
Yeah.
I might have talked him to sleep and death, but there's still life in him yet. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Boy, we got some preachers that will talk you to sleep. So there it is in your Bible.
I like that.
You like that?
I like that.
You get a lot out of that too, can't you?
Yes, Lord.
It can go so many ways. That's what it's yours, Doc. Acts 27 and 12. That's yours all day long. I hope I'm there when you use it too, boy. Girl. I'm going to be right there. But I thought about this, prophet. We got a lot of preachers. But even though, it's comical in a way, but even though that Paul had taught pretty much the whole day, right? Because he said in the morning he was still talking and then he left. But at the end it said that that the congregation went one way, he went the other, but they came and they had life in them also. So they got something out of the teaching.
That's right.
They got something out of it, right? They got something out of it. Isn't it amazing how we can go to a church and hear a preacher and leave and don't get nothing out of it?
Come on.
Come on, sir.
What no life in it.
Come on.
What nothing in it. I don't know what you're saying. I don't know what book you're coming out of. I don't know how you got your topic. I don't know if it came out that you know how the little owl say you get the candy in the center of the Tootsie Roll? I don't know where you got this from, but ain't nothing in this.
Come on, sir.
But at the end of this thing, it said there's life in it.
Come on.
Yes, sir.
So if you're going to be a dead preacher, don't cause nobody to fall out the window sleep.
Wow.
So many ways you can go with that. Ooh. That's good stuff, Doc. That's all you right there. I'm over it. But tonight, I just wanted to share that with y'all. But tonight, we're going to go to Job chapter 1. And I'm just going to deal with a few little things in Job.
Come on. Wow.
We'll deal with a few little things in Job.
Yeah.
Now, this must have came directly from the throne because, sis, I don't do this too often. But I went and got one of my Bibles. Doc, I went and got the hardback.
Yeah.
I ain't even went and hit the phone. I had to get the hardback. I ain't used my computer. I went and got the hardback. That's the way God told me to do it. So what we need to learn as a people, however God tell you to do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Yes, sir.
So we go to Job 1:1.
Yes, sir.
There was a man in the country of Uz named Job. He was a man of perfect integrity.
Blame me.
Perfect integrity
Yeah.
means that you couldn't question his integrity. Doc, perfect integrity tells me that as a man and woman of God, that when you walking in the grocery store and there's whatever opposite sex you are, somebody walking by that's half dressed, and instead of you taking an extra long gaze, you turn away because you want to be a man or woman of integrity. But God says in His word here that he had perfect integrity.
Perfect. Come on, son.
This is a rhetorical question for you tonight. What does God say about your integrity?
Come on.
Oh, I hear it like this. Do you even have integrity for God to say something about? Woo!
All right.
Okay, then it says, who feared God and turned away from evil. He had 7 sons and 3 daughters. His estate included 7,000 sheep, 3,000 camels, 500 yoke of oxen, 500 female donkeys, and a very large number of servants. Job was the greatest man among all the people of the East. In other words, this was a bad man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Listen, Job was the kind of man, if he told you something, you better do what Job tell you to do, because look what all he has gained. His sons used to take turns having, I ain't gonna go, let's jump down to verse 6. Yeah, verse 6. It says, Satan's first test of Job. Got that one? It says, one day the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan also came with them. The Lord asked Satan, where have you come from? Satan replied, not Lucifer. Hello, Bible scholars.
Come on.
Amen.
Satan replied, not Lucifer. All right. Satan replied, from roaming through the earth, Satan answered him, and walking around on it. Then the Lord said to Satan, have you considered my servant Job?
Come on.
No one else on earth is like him. A man of perfect integrity, there we go again, who fears God and turns away from evil. Verse 9 says, Satan answered the Lord, does Job fear God for nothing? Haven't you placed a hedge around him, his household and everything he owns? You have blessed the work of his hands, and his possessions have increased in the land. That should be a word right there. We skip over that. Watch this, and we'll go back and read that one more time, see if you get a nugget out of that. You have blessed the work of his hands. Job's hands was blessed by God.
That's right.
That then began to produce for him. Okay? And his possessions have increased in his land. So because his hands was blessed, his possessions increased. So that should tell us that our hands need to be blessed and not inside of everybody's mess.
Come on now.
Oh, I heard that.
Wow.
Our hands need to be blessed and not inside of everybody's mess. So watch this. You have blessed the work of his hands, and his possessions have increased in the land. But stretch out your hand and strike everything he owns, and he will surely curse you to your face. Now this is Satan talking to the Almighty God. Satan said he knew God knew everything. So he already knew, God already knew that Job would not fail him. Does God know that you won't fail him? So here we go, verse 12, it says, Verily, very well, the Lord told Satan, everything he owns is in your power.
That's it.
Watch this. Satan was given permission to try Job.
Yes, he was.
How many of us, as men and women of God, have inadvertently given Satan permission to try us?
Come on.
Listen, Satan asked God to remove the hedge so that he could try. Verse 12 tells us that was done. Do you not know before Satan comes to your camp, he's got to ask permission?
Amen.
Come on.
And even when he's given permission from God, he's still got to deal with you if you are God's servant. And you walk in the same power and authority. Here's the issue. The reason he's able to knock your head off is because you don't know who you are in God.
Come on.
Oh.
We think we are a title. We think we are entitled. And we think that we're something that we're not. So he knocks our head off. Everything he owns is in your power. However, you must not lay a hand on Job himself. So Satan left the Lord's presence. Now, not only did Job have to ask permission, did Satan have to ask permission to touch Job, but Satan was given parameters of what he could do.
Yeah.
Come on.
So why, Minister Reed, are we scared of something that we have power over?
Come on.
1:21 says this: naked I came from my mother's womb, and naked I will leave this life. The Lord gives, and the Lord takes away. Praise the name of the Lord. Yahweh. Go back to it. Then the Lord said to Satan, have you considered my servant Job? Doc, God gave me this right here. he said a lot of us haven't even made it to the consideration stage. I can't take you higher because you haven't even made it to the consideration stage. Because I know, God is saying, I know. If I tell Satan to touch you, you'll be out of church faster than a firecracker going off on the 4th of July.
Yeah.
You ain't even made it to the consideration stage. Talking about, use me, Lord.
Uh-oh.
On Sunday and cussing on Monday. You ain't even made it to the consideration stage.
Come on, son. That's good stuff.
I tell you to give $5 in church and you question me and you don't understand why I don't want to put you in the consideration stage.
Come on, son.
I tell you to submit to me and you wonder why I can't put you in the consideration stage. I tell you to obey my word, and you wonder why I can't put you in the consideration stage. I heard another preacher use an analogy like this, and I really loved it. He said the consideration stage was like God giving some bulldogs, taking them off their chain and letting them loose. But is there enough faith that when them bulldogs come running, are you going to stand there or you going to run? I can't even get you to the consideration stage.
Wow, Lord.
Because the first thing you do is curl up and die. Have you considered my servant Job? God put a lot of things before that. He said there was no other one like him. He also said he was a perfect and upright man. He also said he feared the Lord.
Amen.
How many of us want to be used by God but can't even get to the consideration stage? You know why? Since we can't get to the consideration stage, because every time we seem like we get to going good, we fail every time.
That's it.
We fall down.
That's it right there.
Isn't it amazing, Doc, how things begin to spread around church abroad that have no natural meaning in the Bible? What are you talking about, Apostle? One that I love. They come to me and talk about, Pastor, I've been church hurt. So then I say, well, what happened? The church fell on you? Talk about, what do you mean the church fell? You said the church hurt you, so that must mean the building fell on you. That's the only way it can hurt you.
Church hurt.
She said, no, somebody in the church hurt me, and I had to leave. No. So you're not church hurt because the church ain't hurt you. You upset with somebody in the church. And you're using it as an excuse to leave.
Come on.
You're not church hurt. Church ain't did nothing to you. You and somebody in the church can't get along. And okay, let's just say y'all can't get along. But you use that one excuse to leave every church in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Your time in that ministry may just be up. I don't know that. But your time in God ain't up.
Come on.
Come on, son.
And he's trying to get us to the consideration stage. But we trying to outpraise one another, outraise one another, outbuild one another. We out doing everything in one another. Can somebody reach somebody else without trying to get
come on.
the consideration stage? I can't come to your church and help you celebrate unless I'm preaching.
Come on.
We're trying to get to the consideration stage.
Come on.
Unless my name is in lights, I can't. But we forget the scripture that says, esteem somebody else higher than yourself. But we're trying to get to the consideration stage. We won't help those that we say it's a dying world and we won't help them. But truth be told, it's a dying church.
Come on, sir.
Trying to help a dying world.
Come on, sir.
We dying right here sitting in amongst each other.
Come on.
We ain't made it to the consideration stage.
That's good, Apostle.
Because we sit right here and hate our brother right there.
Come on, sir.
We ain't made it to the consideration. If God would have let them bulldogs off the chain, Satan would eat us alive. And that's the only reason God said, I consider my servant Job because I know he's going to be all right.
Yeah.
Amen.
I know what Job going to do. I know what Job going to say. Can God say that about you?
Come on.
Can God say that about you? We ain't even made it to the consideration stage yet. We'll talk about one another. We'll not lift up one another. We'll not give them a helping hand. Got plenty of money in your pocket. And see the little old lady in the grocery store struggling to pay for $5. She got $5 left on her bill. And you got $500 in your pocket. And God touched you on your heart to pay that last $5 on this lady groceries so she can take her 9 kids home and feed them. And you clenching that $500 so hard, it's about to turn purple.
Come on. Help, Lord.
But you talking about God used me. He just did.
Amen.
But then you'll stand up in the church and try to raise an offering for you.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Have you considered a man that I know will do right?
Come on, Pastor.
If I can put it in modern vernacular. Have you considered a man that I know won't turn his back on me?
Come on.
Have you considered a man that I know when he sees a woman that ain't dressed right, instead of him taking an extra long look, he gonna turn his back?
Hey.
Have you considered a man that I know love me for real?
That's right.
Have you considered a man that I know will lift up my name? Have you considered a man that's not trying to build a cathedral so he can put his name on it, but put me inside of it? Come on, somebody. Have you considered a man that I know will call upon the name of the Lord?
That's right.
Have you considered a man that will esteem his brother higher than himself? Have you considered a man that I will know will teach my word?
Come on, sir.
That will teach you from precept to concept. Have you considered a man?
Jesus, good, sir. Amen.
That's some good stuff, now, Doc.
We won't lift up our brother. These ain'ts is so money hungry, it's unbelievable. And if you ain't hear me right, I said ain'ts, because they're not saints.
Come on, sir.
They so money hungry. Listen, you trying to get money for the gift that God gave you. Can I share this with you? Some of you might not realize and some of you might not know. What you trying to pimp God with this gift, it ain't yours in the first place.
Come on.
All right.
It ain't yours in the first place.
Come on, sir.
It ain't yours in the first place.
Yeah.
You haven't even made it to the consideration stage. You crying because you sitting in the dark with JEA off. You better be in there worshiping.
You better stop it.
All you got to do, your major trial in life is you in the dark. Well, can I share this with you?
Come on.
When Jesus was walking the earth, they didn't have electricity. So he was in the dark a lot of nights.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was. Wasn't afraid either.
Oh, Lord, my life is on. So what?
Come on.
Go put you some hamburgers or hot dogs on the grill and keep enjoying life. You still breathing, crying over stuff that don't even matter.
Amen. That used to be me.
It don't matter. Maybe you need to be in the dark a little while. Worship God.
Come on.
Stop looking in the mirror at yourself.
Come on.
But I just wanted to share with you tonight. Have you considered?
My service.
See, we haven't. Thank you, Holy Ghost. Pastor Bank and I here, and I had a conversation. God's bringing it back to memory. And there are a lot of people that have a lot of titles.
Come on, son.
But it's one thing to have a title. And it's a whole other thing to have a title and been through consideration.
Come on.
Amen.
What do you mean been through consideration? Listen, you can have the sharpest, nicest, prissy title you want, but if you ain't never been tried, if you ain't never went through nothing, if you ain't never been hungry. See, I understand what hungry is, because I've been hungry.
Hey,
I understand what not having money is, because I've been without money.
Come on.
See, if you ain't never been to HTA, have you been tried by the fire? Hey, hallelujah. If you ain't never been considered, then how you gonna carry God's, come on, people. Higher as things go high. Have you been considered?
Amen.
Have you been considered?
Jesus.
Pastor Bing here, if you can get for me Job 13 and 15. We're going to conclude this. Do it out of the KJV for me.
King James, right?
Yes, sir.
13 and 15?
Yes, sir.
Amen. You want to just do 15?
Yes, sir.
That
Well,
part right there.
well, mine is just 15.
Okay.
You'll just do 15.
Okay.
Yes.
Though he slay me?
Yes.
Stop right there. Though who slayed me? Who's Job was doing the talking, but who was he talking about?
Enemy.
Satan.
No.
He talking about Satan. He talking about God.
God. Yeah. Now you thought I trust after.
That's right. He talking about God. Though God slayed me. In other words, though I've been through the consideration process. Though I've been through the consideration process, though ministry, I've been through the consideration process, though they won't respect that God called me to be a prophet, so I've been through the consideration. Yeah. Though they, Pastor Bankhead, they say you ain't old enough, but I've been through the consideration process, though there are all of these things, though, what else to say?
Yet will I trust it.
Yeah, I'm going to trust it. Listen. Wow. Oh, thank you, Holy Ghost. Oh, bring my word. Thank you, Holy Ghost. See, consideration is going to bring on some battle scars. You're not going to come through this thing without some battle scars. You're not going to come through this thing with a little bit more wisdom.
Yeah.
You're not going to come through this thing with a little bit more knowledge. You're not going to come through this thing a little bit more aware of some things going on. You're not going to come through this thing. See, to get to this consideration process, see, you thought you had a title, but that title, when you get to the consideration process, gets stripped them off. Yeah, come on. Well, see, you might get the title back at the end, but you got to make it through the consideration. Though you slay me, what? Yet I'm going to trust you. This is why I say you don't have to call me apostle. You don't have to call me a pastor. It doesn't matter to me. What I need to be worried about is what is God calling me.
Amen.
Come on, son.
See, listen, we got to understand, we got this thing all twisted. Listen, if I don't show up to church on Sunday, guess what? Church is going to go on. If Pastor Bankhead don't show up at church on Sunday, what? Church is going to go on. But listen, if God don't show up, then we got an issue. Then we got an issue.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah. Come on.
Y'all trying to start something. Then we got an issue.
God ain't there.
Then we got an issue.
Major.
Though you slay me, yet I'm going to trust you. I don't care, Minister Reed, listen. Who walk away?
That's right.
I don't care who doubt me.
That's right.
Yet I'm going to trust you. See, Doc, we got to learn to sit with the big wigs that think they came to tell us.
That's right.
But because we've been through the consideration process, and they've been only through the title process, well, I'm here to let you know that education and title does not outstrip consideration.
Come on, son.
You might have a whole lot of Ivy League biblical education, but I'll challenge your Ivy League biblical education over here to this consideration process.
Amen.
And let's see who come out at the end. Though you slay me, yet I'm going to trust you. See, I'm running back to God. You running back to what's hanging on the wall. Which one going to last the longest?
Come on.
Come on, somebody. Yeah, God. What else is there?
I will maintain.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
Mine own ways before him.
I will maintain what? My worship. I will maintain my lifting up in my hands. I will maintain my glory for God. I will maintain a smile on my face. Listen, I will just go. Listen, you won't even know that I'm going through my consideration process because I'm still in church shouting. I'm still in church lifting up my hands. Listen, I walked out the parking lot with nowhere to sleep, but I came in church shouting. You won't even know I'm going through my consideration process. Why? Because I yet don't trust him. I'm yet don't praise him. I'm yet don't lift him up. I'm yet don't do everything that God requires me because my now is not going to be my always.
Come on, son. My God. Jesus.
My right now is not going to be my always. I'm not always going to be driving while I'm driving. I'm not always going to be living while I'm living. Yet when I trust you, yet I'm going to believe in you. Even though I can't see it, even though I can't understand it, yet I'm going to believe in you.
Yes.
I'm going through the consideration process, and I'm going to maintain. You won't even understand. Oh, you won't even. My mind stays in perfect peace. Whose mind is stayed on him. I'm going to maintain. Yes. My mind is kept in perfect peace. Whose mind is stayed on him. You won't even know. That sometimes I feel like throwing in the towel. You won't even know. But yet I'm going to maintain.
Come on, sir.
Have you been through the consideration process? You won't understand what it is to be broken with a title. You won't understand. So this is why I can lift up holy hands.
Yes.
This is why I can have a smile on my face with 6 members. You won't understand.